Good day, everyone. This is a continuation of my vehicle data analysis data set. In this environment, MySQL workbench, I want to analyze this data on it. So let's dive into the process. On this page, I create a database electrical car. So I'll be using this my database electric car. Now it runs successfully. So to bring in my data set, I need to create a table. To house the data. Excuse me. So these are the column of my table from my original data set. VIN, VACA, count, VACA, city, in that order. So the table has been created. Actually, if I run it, it will show error here. So, but for us to check the table to know if there are data that are recorded in it or not, I will run this code. You can see it runs successfully, but in my table, there's no record. It is only the column. You can see all the columns in the table. So there's no record. So now I have to bring the record in. So to bring the record in, I will use a code load data in file. This is the directory, the location where my data is in my local computer. So into a table, I told you I created the table car data. So when I run this, the record will be brought in. So it's running. Let's wait for it to execute. It's bringing in the, you see. So it used 9 seconds to brought in the data. This is the record 181,458 records. So now let's check for this table again. You can see my data here now. It has been brought in into the table. So I will check for the number of records in this table. You can see 181,458. So let me check for duplicates to know if the data is clean or dirty. So to check for duplicates, I select 2 columns from the data, VIN and the city column, then count function to count the whole row from the car data, that is the table, and also to group by. I'm going to group by the same selected column and having count to be greater than 1. So anywhere, any of these column that is greater than 1, those are the record is going to pick for this. Anywhere is greater than 1, it will pick those records, shows that there are duplicates. More than 1 means there are duplicates. So let me execute this for us to see. Yes, you can see. Like with this VNI for WA in this city, it has 4 records. That is the count of the record. For Olympia, it have 2 in that order. So there's a duplicate in the data set. So to delete the duplicate, I will need to create a backup, or like a backup table. I will need to create a backup table. So when I create this table, I will move my distinct data, that is the one without duplicate, into the table. Then later I will move it back into my original table. That is the logic I want to use. So now create table card data duplicate. That's drip. As select this thing from card data. So this table has been created. Actually, if I run it, it will show error. Let me run it. Okay, no, I need to create it. It has not been created. So I will need to create this table. It's running. It's creating it. Yes. So you can see the distinct number, that is the record without duplicate, is 139,120. So the table has been created. If I select this table now, you will see it. So this record now is our record. My record that has no duplicate. There's no duplicate in this record. So this is it. So going further now, I have moved the record without duplicate into card data duplicate. That is the table I created. So now I need to truncate this, my original table. I need to truncate it. I need to delete all those records inside my original table. So truncating a table will delete all those records inside the table, but it will not delete the table. So I will truncate this because what remains inside this table are the duplicate. So truncate table car data. Let me execute it. So this table has been truncated. It runs successfully. It runs successfully. You can see the time. So now insert into card data. That is now, I want to move my record back into my original table, which is card data. Insert into card data. Select from car data duplicate. So I'm going to move all my record from this, my data, my table, the backup table, into my original table. So let me execute this. So it's moving it, it's executing it. Yeah, you can see now 139,120 rows affected. That is the record. And you can see duplicate is 0. There's no duplicate. So he has moved this into my original table. That is the car data. I hope you are getting it. So now I need to drop this table because this table was just created temporarily to allow me to move the distinct record, the record without duplicate, where to keep them, then be able to delete the duplicates and then move them back. That is what this logic is all about. So now I will now drop this table. So the table has been dropped. So now let me check for my record. This record now will give me a record without duplicate. So you see, now I have my 139,120 record. So in this record now, there's no duplicate. The original record, in the whole data set, what I brought in was 181,458. So if we minus this from 185,458, we'll be having 42,338. So those are the duplicate that I have removed from this data set. So let me perform some analysis on this. The number of vehicle per. Okay, let me show you. I need to show you my data set. Let me show you my data set here. Just to show you my data set so that I can point to the where I want to perform some analysis. I want to work on this electric vehicle type column. We have a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle and we have battery electric vehicle. So I want to know the number of plug-in electric vehicle. I want to know the number of cars that use this plug-in electric vehicle and also to know the number of cars that use a battery electric vehicle. Also, this is our make, where the make we have Audi. So these are the model. So I want to, but mind you, this data I'm showing you is before I remove the duplicate. We can see here it's because before I remove some of the duplicate. So it's above it. But I'm just trying to point to you area where I want to work on and this other one. So let me come down here. If I come down here, let me check it from here. Select star from data. So this is what I want to work on. So now I want to show you something. Can see that our record is still the same here. I want to show you something here. If you look at this now, this make is Audi. Or if you look at the number here, this number here is different from this number here. This is the unique number. They are different. And if you come here, you know it is Audi A3, but the unique number is different. So it is the same model, the same make, but not the same car. So because when you look at it here, you can say, it's still having duplicate. No, this is the unique number here. That's what I want to try to show you. So going forward now, I want to check for the electric vehicle type. So number of vehicle per battery range in respect to CAFV. So I will be select clean alternative fuel vehicle eligibility count as. So this is the alias NOCAF. We'll replace it in place of that, in place of this from car data group by this. So I will group by the same selected column so that I can get the value, the corresponding number. So look at it now. The non-eligible due to low battery range is 18,074. in that category. Then clean alternative fuel vehicle eligible is 55,516. And eligibility unknown as the battery range has not been researched is 66,530. If you remember in my Power BI dashboard, this is the same value I had. If you remember on my Jupyter notebook, using Python, this is the same result, the same number I have in respect to this category. So going forward, the number of electric vehicle type. So I want to check the number of electric vehicle type in this column, in electric vehicle type. So I will still use the same method to check for this. So the number, the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle has 35,442. In this analysis, battery electric vehicle has 103,678. And let me check for the number of car by make. So the number of car by make in descending order, that's another thing I check for. Yes, Tesla was, in my former analysis, Tesla was still, it was highest, having 50,001, and the Chevrolet 12,314, followed by Nissan. So it's the same thing I have on the Jupyter notebook using Python, and also on my dashboard in my Power BI, where I visualize these data sets. It is the same thing. Then I did the same analysis on Excel. The analysis check for all this on Excel, and it was the same. So for the purpose of some of us that are for the purpose of comparing, sorry, and for people, the beginner, this might be of help to somebody who is just starting to know one or two things about data analysis using MySQL workbench, and and for the video not to be long, I just want to make comparison on things you can do on these tools, the same having, and you'll be getting the same record, the same result. So there's a way to do all these things. So I will be stopping from here, though I will still do some other analysis required on it, but for the sake of this video not to be long, I will be stopping from here. I believe this will be of help to one or two people who might come across this video and watch. Thank you for your time.